Hello, everyone, and welcome to the squad report for February of Season 3 with St. Pauli. Okay, we're starting off with Brett Cameron, our American goalkeeper, who has the potential to be special. We'll get to see his stats in a moment. He's an 82 overall, he's grown 4 points this season. I don't think I've trained him at all. And yeah, he's kept 5 clean sheets, which doesn't sound like a lot, but he hasn't been the main keeper for the whole season. There's his stats. As you can see, 67 reactions, which is pretty good. The only thing that's really letting him down in his goalkeeping stats is his handling at the moment, but that's still a healthy 68, and we can maybe put him in the training at some point next season to boost that. Then we've got Rene Blumberger, our second choice goalkeeper from Austria. He has the potential to be special as well, and I've put lots of training into him because the board wants to get 2 players up to 10 or more, 10 overall plus points and play them in 10 games. We don't know if we're going to achieve that, but he's doing very well. He's doing the best of the 3 players I'm trying to train up to that level. So then we should have our third goalkeeper, who we tried to sell in January, Adam Gannon, another American goalkeeper, an exciting prospect we tried to move on. I mean, he's growing nicely, isn't he, for an exciting prospect, but yeah. We'll just move on now to Ivan Wojcik of Poland. He has the potential to be special. He's a defence-minded right back. He had a lot of training put into him early on, but he's now just growing on his own. And yeah, he's a good player to play with. I like playing with Wojcik. Good at getting forward, good at the back. Then we have Ronald Baumgartner, an Austrian player who we recently brought into the squad, and he is an exciting prospect, physically strong as well, so he's got those good physical stats, and he's growing. Yeah, I've just started training him, so he's growing in his technicals now. His marking is a bit off his other stats, his defensive stats, but we'll get him up there. Okay, next player should be another Austrian right back, Rene Schmid, I think. Rene Schmid has the potential to be special, and he's another physically strong player, and yeah, growing very nicely at 66 overall, 5 points of growth this season, 17 years old, very nice, good all-rounder. And then we have Viktor Kowalski of Poland. He has the potential, especially he's a physically strong centre-back, and he's our captain. At the moment, very commanding at the back. We do need to work on his stats, but he plays surprisingly well for a guy who's got 57 slide tackle and 51 marking. He's a bit of a rock at the back for us, is Victor. Then we have Gabriel Binder, who we just brought up recently, last couple of months from the Youth Academy, another Austrian, an exciting prospect, centre-back. And yeah, another physically strong player. So he has those good physicals again. And we're he's growing nicely. I think I give him a bit of training. So he's growing a bit in his defensive technicals. Then Evarista Guerrero of Chile is showing great potential centre back. He might be physically strong looking at some of those physicals. 83 jumping and 83 strength, pretty incredible. But we do need to work a bit on his defensive stats. But he does play reasonably well when I play with him. Then we have Victor Kavinkowski, I think is how you pronounce that. He doesn't have the potential. I've been trying to glitch him out, and we just can't get him to glitch out, which is a real shame because he has some great physicals. I'm going to try one more time in the summer window, and then if we can't get it to happen, then he'll be moved on in the January window. Then we have Akin Dogan, a showing great potential Turkish, physically strong centre back, and actually got some really good defensive stats. He has had a lot of training this season to get him up to 60, so we could see his potential. And then we've got Jürgen Gruber, another Austrian promoted this season. I think he's an exciting prospect, left back, and he's another physically strong player as well, and pretty decent all-rounder defensively as well. So then we have Walter Stadler. I think that's how you pronounce his first name. I think he might have the potential to be special Stadler. But he's another physically strong left back from Austria, and again, pretty well rounded on the defensive stats. So then we have Ahmet Burak Gazi, Turkish CDM, another physically strong player. He's got showing great potential, and he's got some pretty nice tackling stats on pretty decent marking and interceptions as well. He plays really nicely for a 64 overall, and he's kind of the beating heart of our midfield. Christian Novak, a Polish CDM, hasn't got a potential. Probably move him on in the summer, because I reckon there are going to be some stronger options coming through both the youth academy and from outside the club. So he can be moved on. But he's not a bad player. He's just not got a great long-term future at the club. We have Yutaka Matsumoto, a technically gifted right midfielder from Japan. This guy, I tend to play him on the right side of midfield where I can, but we don't have a lot of good right-sided players at the club, so he does play on the right side of. He plays on right midfield sometimes. Yeah, very good player. Has the potential to be special as well. So he's exciting in the future. Then Benjamin Luna from Bolivia. He is an exciting prospect, and he plays really nicely on that right side of midfield. I could see him keeping some players with better potential at bay for a while, essentially. Yannick Schmidt is a showing great potential German right midfielder. I don't know how long we're going to keep hold of Schmidt. I think we can find better options through the academy system. But yeah, he's certainly a solid option for now. Then we have Josef Wisniewski, I think, from Poland, showing great potential. Right midfielder. I haven't really used him yet. I mean, he's okay looking at his stats. But that crossing stat is a bit low. Andre Zaza, the Andre Pirlo regen now. I'm thinking of selling him in the summer. Like, he's a good player and everything. I don't think he's the type of player that I want to use. As I think you'll understand a bit as we go through the other central midfielders. So yeah, good player, but he might move on. Probably going to move him on in the summer. Get some good money for him. Harrison Donaldson, who's the Lampard/Gerrard regen. Found him in the free agents in the summer. Nicely rounded physical stats, some nicely rounded stats for a central midfielder as well in his technicals and his mentals, and he's showing great potential. So don't know about long term, but he's certainly doing a job in the meantime. Aketo Kanemoto, another Japanese player. He's a physically strong centre mid, and he just feels fantastic. You give him the ball, and he just tears defences into pieces. So I'm really looking forward to playing with him and seeing how he develops. Which the same could be said for the next player, which is, when we go down to him, it's another one of our Austrian future Austrian internationals, and it's Bernard Bindhammer, which is Kylian Bindhammer's younger brother. You'll see Kylian in a minute, and look, he's really good. I mean, his jumping and his strength haven't really grown. Don't know why, but I'm sure they will eventually. Because like I said, I'm pretty sure he's a physically strong player. Then we have Christopher Schultz, a German left mid winger type. He plays really, really well. He's, for some reason, I can't get our players to win the header on his crosses when he crosses from open play, but he's really good at corners, and he's great at through ball style assists and long passes and kind of assists. So I think he's going to be a great all round left mid going forward. He's an exciting prospect. Kilian Bindhammer, one of our earliest youth recruits from Austria, has the potential to be special. He's a left midfielder, but he's a technically gifted, so I tend to play him on the left side of central midfield. But his stats are growing, so who knows? Maybe he'll play out wide again one day. Thomas Nasid, the Thomas Rosicki regen. He has shown great potential, but he plays really, really well for a 79 overall. I mean, that's obviously not anything to be snubbed at, but it says he's got bad form, but he scores goals. I mean, they're usually tap-ins, but he scores goals. He creates assists. I don't know why he's got bad form. Takafumi Nagatsuka, another Japanese player, and he is a cam and an exciting prospect. Can't remember what player type he is. Not really used him much, but he has scored at least once when I bought him on as a sub. He looks like a sharp player. I need to put more training into him. Sung Soo Oh looked like he was going to leave the club in January, but then changed his mind. Decided he wanted to stay. Might move him on in the summer, but I can't. It's difficult to ignore that finishing stat. He did score some good goals for us early on. In sort of seasons 1 and 2, he was scoring goals for us. Gabriel Wimmer is definitely being moved on. He's showing great potential. Austrian cam. Never use him. Just needs to move on, really. This is the Kaká regen. Matheus Silva Costa was not very happy with his amount of game time he was getting, so he was moved out on loan to Deportivo La Coruña, and he'll come back at the end of the season, and we'll assess from there. And so who's up next? It is Massimiliano Terranova, the Totti regen we signed in the January transfer window. The club wanted us to sign a crucial first team player striker. This guy won't be around for a long time, but he does a decent job. Scored a couple of goals against Augsburg on his debut. So yeah, for the time being, he's going to be the number one up front, but in the long term, he's not going to be. That man, then Daniel Schwinkel, currently our number 2 striker. He's a physically strong, showing great potential from Germany. I really love playing with this guy. He just seems to have the eye for goal. He seems hungry, and he scores goals, so can't complain. And we should have another centre forward coming up now. Yeah, Dietmar Meyer, a 63 overall, has potential to be special. Austrian, physically strong centre forward. Got some fantastic physical stats, and they're already growing. And then his technicals are growing as well. He's catching up with Schwinkel. He's already better than Terranova on his finishing. Then we have Hayato Hanabusa. Now, I'll give you a little sort of flash forward, if you like. I released him. He came back from his loan. He didn't have... I had to give him a new contract. When he finally accepted it, he didn't have a potential. He's been released. And then we have Nesta Soriano Casas. I found him in the free agents. I think he's David Villa's regen. He's an exciting prospect. I love how well-rounded he is in his technicals. Need to work on his finishing and his heading accuracy. But wow, this guy could be a really good striker for us going forward. And I think this is There's maybe one more player. There's Oscar Delgado Serna. I'm going to move this guy on in the summer. He's only showing great potential. For some reason, he just can't finish at all. I know that his finishing isn't the best, but he should still be. He's had some golden opportunities, and he hasn't put them away. So he'll be leaving. And that is the end of the February Season 3 squad report for St. Pauli.